Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Charge Cowboys Sports Report. Please like, subscribe, and share. I just started this mid last season. Been a fan since Super Bowl 28. When we first beat Buffalo, I was 6 then. I'm 36 now. Been watching this team my whole life. Title of this video is Cowboys Are Still atop of the East. Best team in the division. Everybody wants to crown Philly right now. And if you go down the board on the moves that both teams have made, the Cowboys are still the best team in the division. Washington and the Giants are 3 and 4 respectively. The big deal that bugs the crap out of me is how everybody's talking about the big steal the Eagles got in round 3. How in round 3 they drafted the linebacker Nakobe Dean out of Georgia. Nakobe Dean, all-world linebacker, got him in the 3rd round. What a steal. Although he's injured and he might not play this year. In the 5th round, we get Damon Clark out of LSU, who is also injured, not might play this year. But all this talk about Nakobe Dean and what a steal that was. Check out these stats. Damon Clark last season. First of all, he was all SEC team. First team all SEC team. Led SEC in tackles. He had 136 tackles, 78 solo. Nakobe Dean, 61 total tackles, 29 solo. Clark, 5.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Dean, 5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Clark, 1 fumble recovery, 1 pick. Dean, 2 picks. Clark, 15 tackles for a loss. And Nakobe Dean, 8.5 tackles for loss. And Damon Clark didn't have the privilege of having 3 NFL defensive linemen playing in front of him. Plus, what was it? 2 linebackers playing beside him that were all drafted in the 1st round. Pick 1, defensive end, Trayvon Walker. Then the second one to come off the board, defensive tackle, Jordan Davis. Big old Jordan Davis that takes on 2.5 offensive linemen by himself. Eagles got him. Congrats on that. They've had Fletcher Cox for years now. Fletcher Cox has a 1-year deal, $14 million to play with Philly, probably 1 more year, a shell of what he used to be. So they're just basically getting another Fletcher Cox for another 10, 12 years. So Nakobe Dean had Trayvon Walker at defensive end, Jordan Davis at defensive tackle, and that pick 28, Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle, gets taken by Green Bay. Pick 22 by Green Bay, Quay Walker, linebacker. And pick 32 by Minnesota, Lewis Klein, linebacker. So Nakobe Dean had this plethora of defensive players, 3 of which on the line, which clogged up and held up the offensive lineman so he could roam free and do what he needed to do. And also, he had 2 stud linebackers playing next to him that were both 1st-round picks. Damon Clark didn't have the luxury of having a line that LSU usually has. LSU usually has 2 defensive linemen go in the 1st round. They had they only had 1 guy go in the 1st round. That was Derek Stingley, cornerback, pick 3. But as far as defensive line, anybody in the front 7, nobody was 1st round worthy. So you want to talk about Nakobe Dean being such a steal in the Eagles. Man, what a pick. Got him in round 3. Yeah. And nobody's talking about Damon Clark, who I think is better than Nakobe Dean. The stats show it. And they're both injured, so they're acting like the Cowboys wasted a pick in the 5th round. We got our guy in the 5th round. They got their guy in the 3rd. both players might not play this year. If they do, it'll be later on in the season. And so the Eagles' first pick, they get Jordan Davis, defensive tackle. And then their second first-round pick, they trade to Tennessee for a wide receiver, A.J. Brown. So they got A.J. Brown and last year's Heisman Trophy winner, wide receiver, that played with their quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Devontae Smith, that's his name. Well, A.J. Brown is good and all. He's not a dominant number one receiver. If you look at his stats throughout his 4-year career, his stats are no better than Michael Gallup's. It's not like A.J. Brown is a Devontae Adams or a DeAndre Hopkins or somebody like that. And I guarantee you, like Shannon Sharp said this morning, A.J. Brown's going to be frustrated this season because whenever he's being used to, well, even if a receiver gets paid a lot of money, he wants a lot of targets. And if he sees Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, DeAndre Hopkins, all these top dogs getting 18, 20 looks a game, and he's only getting 6, 7 looks a game, only 2 or 3 catches because the rest of them are skipped to him, he's going to be frustrated this year. Their quarterback needs to show that he can throw the football. And getting A.J. Brown on that offense, in order to implement him and make it more of a passing game for Jalen Hurts, they're going to have to reconstruct their offense. Right now it's a run-first offense, RPO. So there's a lot more to what meets the eye than what they think. In round 2, they get Cam Jurgens, center. He'll be the replacement for Jason Kelsey. Won't play this year. Then they had 2 6th-round picks, a linebacker, and a tight end. Our draft, Tyler Smith, just like in 2013 when we drafted Travis Frederick at pick 30, everybody booed and had him with a third round grade. Tyler Smith will be an impact player this year at left guard, be twice as good as Connor Williams ever was, and will be eventually long-term replacement at left tackle. Pick 2, we get Sam Williams, a.k.a. D. Williams, edge rusher. And all they said was when they drafted him, all he can do is rush a passer. He's not a full defensive end. Defensive ends aren't really made to stop the run. Their main job is to set the edge and get upfield to the quarterback. Now, our NASCAR package is going to be pretty. The only person we lost on defense is Randy Gregory. And he was a 6-sack guy. Had 6 sacks twice. That was his peak that he's had with us. And DeMonte Casey, who was horrible. He's gone. Out. Malik Hooker, Jayron Kearse, starting safeties right now. So the only guy we lost on defense is Randy Gregory. So we get D. Williams, who had 12.5 sacks, broke Ole Miss's record for sacks. Give the Cowboys credit and benefit of the doubt when it comes to the draft, because since 2010, we have drafted more all-pro players than any team in the league, with 9. Closest at number 2 has drafted 6. And that's not including players that made the Pro Bowl. And Mel Kiper had the Patriots and the Cowboys as the teams that had the worst drafts, with a grade of a D. In 2016, Mel Kiper had the same grade for our draft. Ezekiel Elliott was a horrible first-round pick. Jalen Smith, horrible second-round pick. Dak Prescott, what were we thinking in the 4th round? Cowboys know how to draft. Number 3, Jalen Tolbert, receiver out of Southern Alabama. Small school, yes, but they did play against some big-time colleges this year. And he balled out. 1,500 yards, 82 catches, 8 tubs. The boy can play ball, especially with the full offseason with Dak. And Dak called him 2 weeks prior to the draft. Dak probably had a list of 5 receivers that he wanted. He called every one of them. And when one of them was available in round 3, they took him. Dak likes them, and they're going to click immediately. I guarantee you. Round 4, we get Jake Ferguson, tight end out of Wisconsin. Kid's got skill and size now that Blake Jarwin's gone. We have Dalton Schultz, going to be healthy. Got Jake Ferguson, Jeremy Sprinkle, and Sean McEwen can battle out for the third spot. But Jake Ferguson's going to be a starter. We're going to be running that 21 personnel a lot. That's our bread and butter. Pick 5, we get Matt W., long last name, offensive tackle. Another big offensive lineman from North Dakota. He could possibly be our swing tackle unless Josh Ball, who we got last year in round 7, was a redshirt last year for us, just, shows out in training camp. Deron Bland, cornerback out of Fresno. We'll see what he can do. That was a Dan Quinn pick. Dan Quinn wanted D. Williams in the second round. Then he wanted Deron Bland. And after that, he wanted Damon Clark because he probably couldn't believe he was still on the board. He's probably the best linebacker in this draft, Damon Clark, out of LSU. And wait till he gets healthy after the spinal fusion that he's got. Maybe he doesn't play this year. That's okay. Because we are a very young team. In 2023, he'll be ready to go full head of steam. Now, they're saying that he should be ready come November. If he isn't, he's 100%, I'm all for it. As long as, he doesn't have a high risk of re-injury. And then in our last 5th round pick, we get John Ridgeway. Getting a lot of hype about this kid, defensive tackle. Talking about he wants to rip some heads off. And then pick 6th round, Devin Harper, linebacker at Oklahoma State. A lot of people think that he might be starting this year. Every person that we drafted, besides the 5th round tackle and the 5th round corner, and Damon Clark because he's injured, I think John Ridgeway is going to make the team, be in the defensive line rotation as a nose guard, nose tackle, technique 1. Devin Harper has a good job at being in the linebacking rotation, making the team. Jalen Tolbert is going to make the team at wide receiver. He's going to be number 3 behind Gallup and Lamb. Gallup won't be there for the first 6 weeks probably. That's all right. Here in the next few weeks, we're going to pick up a veteran receiver, maybe bring Cole Beasley back as a true slot. D. Williams, damn well he's going to start at edge, be in the rotation with Fowler, Armstrong, and them. And can you see our NASCAR package? Our NASCAR package, when we get them in 3rd and long, Tank Lawrence going to kick on the inside. Osia Odighizuwa or Neville Gallimore next to him. Micah Parsons. And then either D. Williams or Fowler, depending on who's playing better. And like in 2019, we got Robert Quinn for that one season. He had a down season the year before, 1 or 2 down seasons, and got his groove back. Had 11 sacks, and then got that big contract, and then he had, 17 last year? So Dante Fowler could easily re-emerge his career and get over 10 sacks this year for us. Hell, we have Alden Smith come back after years of not being in the NFL and have a good season. Jake Ferguson will play and start. And Tyler Smith, damn sure, is going to be starting at left guard. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 4 picks will start. Offensive guard, defensive end, wide receiver, tight end. And then John Ridgeway, our last 5th round pick, probably be in the defensive line rotation. And a lot of people are seeing Devin Harper playing next to LVE until Damon Clark is ready to play. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly 8 of the 9 guys we've drafted could play this year. Out of those 8, I guarantee you 4 will be impact players. Now the Eagles, Jordan Davis will be an impact guy. Nakobe Dean probably be an impact guy. I ain't hating on Dean. He's a good linebacker. I think Clark is better. stats are better, and he had less to work with on defense. A lesser defense to work with in a lesser line. Because when you got them two huge tackles and a great defensive end holding up that offensive line that they can't get to you on the second level, you can run free, especially when you got two other linebackers to your right and to your left that are first-round picks in the NFL. So they get A.J. Brown. Well, it's all good and great, but if you ain't got a quarterback that can throw on the ball, that don't do a damn bit of good. And the Eagles' secondary is still very suspect. So if Dak gets on a good rapport with Jalen Tolbert in training camp, CeeDee Lamb in his third year is ready to take that number one role. James Washington comes to play. And then we sign one more guy just until Gallup gets back. Well, they'll play the whole season anyway, but bring back a Cole Beasley maybe. He's still got a few good years left as a true slot. Or there's a few other guys out there. But, yeah, there are plenty of free agents out there to get now that the draft is over with. And we have $26 million in cap space. So don't be surprised if we pick up a good player or two. One on each side of the ball, probably. The Cowboys are the best team in the East. We will win the division. The Eagles need to stop crowning themselves just because they got another defensive tackle. Hell, Washington was loaded with defensive linemen last year. Loaded. Deron Payne, Solomon Thomas, Montez Sweat, all those guys. The only guy that was injured was Chase Young. And we had Tyler Biadasz and Connor Williams, and we still whooped their ass twice. Ran the ball up and down the field, threw the ball up and down the field. So just because the Eagles get Jordan Davis, he might not be better than Deron Payne. So that really don't impress me that much. And then A.J. Brown, let Trayvon follow him all day, and let Devontae Smith try to get open and see if Jalen Hurts can put the ball where it's supposed to be. Lead the receiver to the ball. He's not very accurate. Look at Jalen Hurts' passing statistics his first two seasons. Not good. Not a very good passing NFL quarterback. Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the division. Better than Hurts, Carson Wentz, and damn sure better than Daniel Jones. So if I were to rate the four teams, it would be Dallas. And then the worst team, still the Giants, even though they got Thibodeau and that good offensive tackle out of Alabama. And number 3 would be Washington, and Eagles probably number 2. They did make the playoffs last year, snuck in at number 7. But Cowboys, this is their law division, and this is going to be the first time since 2003-2004 that a team repeats as NFC champs. Mark my words. I made my case for this topic here about why everybody thinks Philly is crowned and it's better, All we did was lose Cooper and Randy Gregory. Those are the only 2 impact players we lost. Lyle Collins was not an impact player. Terrence Steele is a better right tackle than he is now. So with Terrence Steele at the offensive line position at right tackle, we are way better off. Once they took him out, offensive line went to crap. Now he's back in, and he'll have a full training camp at right tackle, which will make him even better. So I'm excited to see what this offensive line looks like this season. I guarantee you Zeke and Pollard might both get over 1,000 yards. And then Dak Prescott won't throw as many touchdown passes and yards as he did last season, but he'll still be damn effective. We got rid of Cooper because he wasn't nasty, didn't have attitude, was real quiet, and would disappear whenever he wanted to. The guys, everybody we drafted has attitude and is nasty. Now, I know a few other people have mentioned similar things like Law and Mark Holmes and all them. I thought of this right when the draft ended, but I've been working day and night. I have a painting business, so it's the first time I've had since the draft has ended to do a video. So, yeah, this is my case. Eagles, good job, but y'all ain't caught up to us yet. And it's going to be a while before y'all do, if y'all do, because we are one of the youngest teams in the league, and we're getting better. And our rookies last year are going to be even better this year. And we had 4 of them last year that played really good. One of them almost defensive player of the year as a rookie. So y'all better watch out, guys. Y'all watch out, because we're going to be 12-5 again this year, if not better. And the schedule will come out in about a week or a week and a half. So that's it for this episode, guys. I went 20 minutes. I try to keep it 15 or shorter. I do apologize, but please like, subscribe, share. Every subscriber counts. It means a lot to me when I look on there and I see another subscriber. It really does. And the pinned comment is, do you think the Cowboys are still the best team in the East? I do. That's a pinned comment. So comment yes or comment no in the comment section below. I do appreciate it. That's going to be that for this episode. I'll catch y'all again in a few days when we got some more news, guys. Charles and Charge is out.